I had a request from a coworker to show all of Harold's setup here, so we're going to go through this. Now the whole setup is actually inside my computer room. I haven't had any issues with the heat or humidity affecting the equipment, which has been good. Now the lighting system up top here, I have what's normally 2 of these holding 3 bulbs each. This is his night lights here, so it's got the black lights. And I normally have the daylight one right here, but I've moved it right now. Now I found that the lights were actually too heavy to rest on the cage. It started to bend and warp the plastic here. So what I've done is actually have 2 old bookcases up and down each side supporting that little piece of wood. Then the whole thing's resting on the wood, as well as this little bar I've placed here as well. So that way there's no pressure warping the whole thing. Now on the inside for heat, he's got the Sunglow 150 and then he's got an infrared light right now because we're pretty warm here with no air conditioning. Now inside, of course, he's got 1,000,001 little vines wrapped around the actual live Benjamin tree I have here. Okay. The bottom there, yes, that's actually a Christmas tree. Harold doesn't actually even mind the lights, which I don't have on normally, but it's kind of a rubber material and he actually likes climbing on it. In the back here, he's got his little lagoon. I have a small Rubbermaid bin that has his larger waterfall with the fogger running for humidity. So I've seen him drinking out of there, but he usually prefers to drink out of the smaller waterfall, which I have resting here, beside his little branch here. Now the recycling bin's there for a bit of volume, but it's also to block heat and light from getting to the crickets down here. They're sitting in a 35-gallon glass tank, but what it is he's got this small vine running along here. So Harold will sit on the vine, eat as much as he needs with his tongue, but the crickets can't get out. So they're still contained, but he can eat safely without me having to feed him all the time. Now that's actually the whole tank setup there. Now both the lights and heat are actually timed. So at 8 AM the daylights go on, 8 PM the night lights go on. Now, while I'm in the room, I'll always have him out with his little bridge here onto his new pothos plant. Pothos or Porthos, I'm not sure on the pronunciation. Now it does have the mirrors behind it, so I can see behind him. As I mentioned before, Harold really does not mind the mirror. He doesn't react to it or get fired up at all, or even stressed. He's actually very curious about it. I find he's always trying to climb on or paw at the mirrors, so I'm curious if he's actually self-aware. As you can see at this is where I have his day glow set up. It's got 3 of the 0.5 or 5.0 UVB bulbs for rainforest light. And where'd he go? There he is. And of course the mirrors are great so I can see him without having to bend all the way around. Of course he's in a complete green tint because of the light and the bulbs. Now while he doesn't react to the mirror at all, he does react to this guy. A friend of mine gave it to me. Apparently this was part of a TELUS promotion. But it actually looks like a chameleon and he really reacts to this one. So let's see if we can get a reaction out of him. Yeah. He will fight this guy off. Don't want to stress him out too much. But that's Harold's whole setup. So big I can barely fit it in the entire screen here. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I can also put up some other videos if you have any other requests. And I still got to find new stuff for him to eat. I'm still having trouble finding hornworms, and he's getting to the size of pinkies, but I'm not sure if pinkies are good or bad. I've heard very conflicting information. So if you have your thoughts on feeding small pinkies, you can let me know. Other than that, Harold says goodbye.